Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. I shall we see what's going on a lovely island of Fawnhollow today. And again, quite a late episode. Not really for any particular reason. It was just like it was just how it worked out for me today. I will say it's kind of misleading now because I guess I got so used to recording in wintertime where I'm like, when it starts getting dark, I'm like, I haven't recorded Animal Crossing yet. I got to get to it. It's 7 p.m. right now in UK and it's still reasonably bright. Like my mind looks outside right now and I'm like, it's 3 p.m. when obviously it's not 3 p.m. currently. It's just we're getting into the summer timing. I mean, we already had our spring forward or fall back. Spring forward, yeah. So we already had the clocks go forward, so that's probably part of the reason. But even still, it doesn't look like 6 p.m. does it? Anyway, hello, good evening everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 7:02 p.m. on Tuesday, April 26, 2022. I mean, look in New Horizons itself. You can see the sunset already basically happening, and that's what I picture in mind when I see 7 p.m. and I just look outside and it looks like it's the afternoon still. I need to have dinner after this. I got a little bit lost in the timings. So afterwards I'm just gonna go eat some food. You might be like, oh, what are you gonna eat? I haven't decided yet. I might have some rice and stuff. Rice and leftovers. Very exciting, I know. Wow, I'm so adventurous, but sometimes life do just be like that. Yeah, I don't really know what to talk about today. It's really annoying because obviously I talked about Minus Friendly Friendship is Magic. I'm not obviously still not going to talk about it because there's not really much for me to say. But I've watched it and it's like many of these sort of animated kids sort of shows. They have songs as quite a strong part of it. I'm not really sure why songs seem to be such a big part of it, but I assume songs are engaging for kids much more, and it's a lot easier to sort of put a random song into a more child-friendly show rather than just randomly stitching it into the middle of a more adult show. You can't imagine Squid Game busting out in the middle of Squid Game did have music, but not the characters busting out in a musical number in the middle of it. That would be certainly a little bit strange. But it's an annoying thing, which was happened is now one of the songs which is in my head right now. It's basically their equivalent of a Christmas song, and it's a little bit strange, I suppose, singing a Christmas song. Nearly the opposite of not quite the opposite. Yeah, I mean, 8 months until Christmas actually happens in the first place. Oh, quite literally 8 months right now. Well, I guess that would be Boxing Day, but still, it's a bit strange, singing. It's why do some of these Christmas songs have to go so hard? Why are they so catchy? Obviously, the Queen of Christmas, Mariah Carey. All I Want for Christmas Is You. Everyone who knows a Christmas modern Christmas song, I suppose, knows that song. Either that or Last Christmas. I don't know what other ones people would have. On mine, it's just man, those are just good songs on their own. Last Christmas, well, it's a bit old now, I suppose, and probably old enough to stop maybe being considered a bit more retro. I don't know. I don't really know what sort of not their constituents, but what the cut-off point for something becoming retro is, but certainly it's getting on the older side now. But it's that, Last Christmas, not Last Christmas again. All I Want for Christmas Is You. Those songs go hard. Those are good songs, and they're the kind of songs that you want to sing all year round. But the problem is, the problem with seasonal songs is it only really makes sense to sing it around that season's time in the first place. There's some leeway what you can give to other songs, like Halloween songs. You can, as long as it's not too strongly associated with Halloween, if it's just a spooky vibe, you can kind of sing it, year round. I can't even think of a Halloween song, to be perfectly honest. But there are probably songs based on Halloween, and there are songs based around other things, like specific seasons, which you can still sing, I'm sure, during other moments. But it's Christmas songs, despite the fact it's very strongly, I'm sure there's other songs even more strongly associated with different holidays. Some reason, in my mind at least, just singing a Christmas song out of season just seems utterly, utter insanity, right? I mean, I'm saying this, but I have a friend who not constantly, but he often sings the song Gaudete, which is a Christmas song, I believe. Or at least I only really hear it around Christmas, and from him. There's a song that goes, Gaudete, Gaudete, Christus now. I don't know, I think it's German or something, and I don't actually know. So I can't really comment on that. He sings that all the time, so maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me, I'm getting too tied up with what should I be singing around now, or that sort of thing. It's not from the perspective of other people hearing me sing a Christmas song and I'm just no, that can't happen. It's more It's invoking the wrong sort of spirit. It's invoking the wrong sort of attitude, which I don't want right now, you know? Singing a Christmas song puts me in a Christmas mood, I suppose. And it's not like it's not appropriate to, like, Christmas moods are quite, you know, festive, I suppose. And, you know, a Christmas mood, I suppose, is a good mood. Nonetheless, it's just sort of like, it's like, it's a casual April evening. It feels a bit strange to be really in such like a festive, jolly mood, I suppose, in that sort of sense. But, you know, your mileage may vary, I suppose, depending on how much you love Christmas. And, well, I suppose if you even celebrate Christmas now, I think about it, but I don't know. Christmas is certainly up there with one of the better holidays. And, you know, it's quite ubiquitous, which is probably why there's so many Christmas songs in the first place. And I guess, actually, now I think about it, the reason Christmas has so many holiday songs associated with it is probably maybe because of Christmas caroling being such a traditional thing. It feels like a natural evolution. It's not like Halloween doesn't really have Halloween carols. I mean, you got like Halloween, like, you sing the songs like trick or treat, smell our feet, something, I can't remember the rest of it. Give us something good to eat if we don't, then beware. There's plenty of you for us to share, something like that. I can't remember how it goes. I might have just made it up as well. Because, you know, the only reason I know about that, if it's even a thing, hold on, is it even a thing? Just like one of those, like, I guess it's more like a nursery rhyme. Trick or treat, smell my feet. Okay, is that? And it's an actual thing. Give me something good to eat. I only know about that because of a Neopets caption contest, which I didn't submit it, but I saw it was one of the winning entries, and for some reason, it's just been stuck in my head ever since. Which is like, any song I've listened to probably in the past, not okay, hold on, not any song. So many songs just get easily stuck inside my head. So I can recite lyrics to random songs which have been years and years since I've even listened to them. Why? I don't know. Ask my brain that. It's apparently just like its record player collection is very efficient. Well, perhaps it's very good at transcribing lyrics. Anyway, yeah. So out of season things in general, I suppose, a bit strange. It's a thing. Like, I can't remember. Is it Christmas things? It might not be Christmas things. Where it's like, if you decorate with Christmas stuff outside of Christmas, it's like unlucky or something, isn't it? I mean, I can't imagine. Not that I'm much of a believer in. Well, okay, hold on. I'm not much of a believer of being able to influence your luck. I believe luck. I see luck more as like a commentary, I suppose, on the results rather than something which can sway what happens in a predetermined way. You know, if a series of improbable events happen in a row, then I'll be like, yeah, okay, that can be lucky. But it's not like you're a lucky person, which makes you have more improbable events happen to you on a more consistent basis. You know, law of large numbers, everyone sort of converges to the expectation, but I'm sure, you know, it's still a normal distribution, albeit a narrow one, which people will still fall other side of. And you might be like, that's a very mathematical, analytical way to sort of approach something which people don't care about. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you're not wrong in that context, huh? Anyway. So yeah, I guess I got a Christmas song stuck in my head. The presents always filled with presents. Come on and open your eyes. I guess a slight benefit to the song is it's a thing which, like, you know, a load of media properties end up doing, things with like established universes, is that they'll have like adjacent holidays. Like, they won't celebrate Christmas in the thing, but they'll celebrate, you know, Animal Crossing does it, Toy Day in Mana 21, Half-Swarming Eve, something like Winter Solstice, something which is like much more ambiguously, obviously meant to be that holiday, but it's not explicitly that holiday about something. So I suppose singing those songs is not like the most outrageous thing in the world, because it doesn't go like, oh, it's Christmas time, mistletoes and lime. Do they have Specsavers in Uruguay? I don't know why that came to mind. You know what? That's the World Cup song that came out 2008, maybe. I don't know. So some person in the UK just made like a load of random songs based off like parody songs based off actual hits, which I guess I'll talk about next time the World Cup actually comes around, which is not for 2 years, I think. Wait, hold on. Isn't the World Cup this year? Whoa, I just randomly clicked on Metal Gear Solid 4. I didn't mean to click on that. When's the next World Cup? I'm not all like caught up on football, so I don't know the World Cup. Oh, it's 2022. I was in November. Oh yeah, I forgot it's in Qatar. Yeah, that's why I've heard about it. So when's it actually start? I can talk about it then. But anyway, that's just a line from one of those songs. based off the fact that, you know, England scored a goal or something in a match against Netherlands, Italy, I don't remember, went over the line and then the goal didn't count, and then, you know, it was absolute pandemonium or something in at least in school, from what I recall. Wait, I remember I was in year 7 at the time, so I could probably work out when that was. But I can't be bothered. Was that 2010? Sounds about right. Hello, Apollo. Anyway, so sort of out-of-season things. Like, I suppose there's another thing, seeing those football songs outside of football season. I guess football season's kind of like a pretty constant thing. But I mean, like, oh, I should have read what you were saying. Apollo gave an actual conversation. I forgot that's what I wanted to do, but it really breaks the flow of my conversation. Stopping to read out what the villagers are saying, unfortunately. I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, so seeing that out of season's also a little bit strange, I suppose. I mean, it's not really like a big deal. I don't mean to try and pitch it in a way that's just like, oh, you know, it's like a faux pas if you do this or something. Like, no one cares, basically, is the long and short of it. But it just like, even though I don't care extrinsically what people think, intrinsically, it puts me in a weird sort of sensational mood, you know? Singing a Christmas song outside of Christmas just is like, it's like an incongruence, which I'm just like, it's uncomfortable. Not in like a actually uncomfortable way, but just like it doesn't fit sort of way. I'm just like, you know. So even if I get Christmas carols and similar things stuck in my head, and even if they go hard, even if they slap, even if they're very catchy, I'm just like, you know, not the time to sing it. Sing something else instead. And it's often, I mean, it's never really a big deal for me in the first place, because I have like constant streams of songs like going in my head. I'm just like, oh, you want me to start singing a different song? You know, just pick out a different song, whatever the flavour of the month is for my brain right now. We haven't had a visitor for Brewster a long time. As always, it's one of Timmy or Tommy or Isabel, who is apparently the only people who can even visit. Oh, Catherine as well, I forgot. I wonder if there's a list of all the people who can actually visit. Hello, Timmy. I'm trying to think, what other like really good, like, my favourite Christmas carols, Carol of the Bells, the one that goes, hark, hear the bells, sweet silver bells. So it's a bit high. Hark, hear the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. I actually quite like that one as well. Mainly because of the specific tunes that go along with it, which is probably why a bit of this other My Little Pony Christmas song is stuck in my head. It's got this really nice bit where it goes, the presents always filled. No, I'll sing it down the octave because I don't want to try and belt out a note on this video. The presents always filled with presents. Come on and open your eyes. It sounds so satisfying. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. I don't know what about that, but I heard that and my brain was just like, that's not going to leave your head for the next 20 years, probably. That's like, you know, if you see an Inside Out, that was a formative memory for me. I'm just like, that one tune, I'm just like, has locked itself as one of the most satisfying melodies I've ever heard. I have no idea why. My brain, please, be reasonable. But it does sound very satisfying, at least personally to me. I'm sure if you listen to it, you'll probably just be like, sounds like a tune. And, you know, you're right, it is just like a tune, but something about it, you know, everyone's got their own, like, different tastes, you know, flavours for the ears. It's what an incredibly cursed way to phrase it. Different sounds and melodies sound much more appealing, I'm sure, to other people. I wonder if people have done, like, a study on that sort of thing. You know, how much, like, different appealing melodies can, you know, sound better or worse to certain people. I'm sure there's people out there who find certain, like, universally, what's the word? Universally known to be bad or disharmonious sounding melodies. It probably sounds good to them in their ears or something. I mean, that sort of just goes into the question of, like, is your red my red, or is my red your blue, or whatever. Weird. Who knows? Anyway. What was I going to say? I'm trying to think. I mean, what sort of out of season stuff should not be out of season? Like, I think a lot of flavours are pretty good. Good enough to not be just, like, seasonal. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, pumpkin spice, I've never actually had, so I can't really comment on it. But it's one that I hear, like, touted as being popular enough that people love it. And it's, like, even though it's, like, strongly... Well, I think it was, like, a Halloween one. And then it got strongly, it like graduated from being strongly associated with Halloween to being strongly associated with just autumn in general. Don't quote me on that, by the way. I don't know if that's true. And what I mean now, if I don't actually know if it's a year-round thing, but I hear it enough that I've kind of assumed that it's something that you can kind of get year-round now. You know, like what other sort of things which are like exclusive only to certain time periods during the year should like be liberated from that temporal restriction, you know, if I want to say it in the like least human way possible. Do we have to collect shells? I don't remember. No, hit rocks, customize, and fossils. Fossils will take priority. But oh wait, have we? I don't think we said hi to Fawny yet. Okay, whose is this? Luckily, most of the villagers are walking around, so if we want to return this, it certainly won't be the most difficult thing in the world. A gyroid, get out of here! Don't want you anymore. Get out right now. I don't know. Like what? Okay, let's start with Christmas flavors. Okay, that's definitely oldies. What Christmas flavors are there? Like turkey, I guess. But even then, turkey's not like associated just with Christmas, especially because of the fact that it's quite a big part of American Thanksgiving, as I understand it as well. I don't know, like Christmas dinner, I guess. I mean, Christmas dinner I certainly wouldn't complain about having year round, but I suppose that might. I think it's not so much a fact that the flavours to be restricted to that season only. It's more of a fact that it's incredibly unhealthy, and it's kind of like more of a symbol of like not gorging yourself, but like celebrating and having a very large meal, which is not particularly sustainable to have multiple times a year. You know, it's kind of, I suppose it's a lot better for society, I suppose, and easier to be like, okay, that day, I know on Christmas I'm gonna let loose and eat wherever I want. You know, eat roast chicken, roast potatoes, stuffing, which is actually one of my favourite parts of Christmas dinner. Don't at me. Parsnips, you know, Brussels sprouts. What are they called? Pigs in blanket. I'm running out of Christmas things. Carrots, I guess. Whatever, you know, you just kind of like eat up all you want, and like, and it certainly would take away, I think, with the specialness of it if you had a. Oh, Fauna's not in her home. She must be wandering about then. I don't think we've run into her, strangely enough. The fact that you'd only have it like once a year, I suppose, is kind of beneficial to most people in that sense. If it was more commonly something you could have multiple times a year, you'd sort of just be like, oh, you know. You'd probably gain a lot of weight very quickly, is basically the long and short of it, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm not sure how forward people would be. And it would also, you know, kind of make it a lot less special, wouldn't it? Part of it's special is because you have it so rarely, and it's so delicious. But I will say, I do like stuffing. But it's also like, it's something I've never seen about. I don't even know why I like stuffing. Like, I don't really think there's much of a reason for it. I just like, there's one time, I had it when I was younger, in a Christmas school dinner. School lunch. Sorry, not school dinner, because of course, you know, you're not in school time. During dinner time, at least in the UK, maybe you are in different countries. I don't really know. Hold on. And you know, I just had a stuffing, and for some reason, I was like, this stuffing's really good, and you know, I guess I just like stuffing now. Who really knows? So I certainly wouldn't mind those sort of flavours being like disconnected from it. I don't know. I can't really think of any flavours which are like very, very closely tied to it, which I would want outside of that time period. You know, there's like peppermint. I don't really care about peppermint, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I like mint as a flavour, but I only really like it with ice cream. And would I have like or mint chocolate? But there's not many situations where I'm just like, oh, you know what, mint. That's a key ingredient, which was I've been missing in this sort of thing. I guess lamb and mint sauce, but even then that's not particularly Christmassy. So, and I'm specifically talking about peppermint, which I'm not sure if there's much of a difference between mint and peppermint. And if there is a difference, I certainly don't know the difference. I mean, like roasted chestnuts, I guess, but I don't like roasted chestnuts. If you say it like that, I guess I do associate it with Christmas, but it's not like chestnut as a flavour. I just associate with Christmas time. Like, I feel like there's a lot of Chinese meals which have chestnuts in them as well. So it's not the most outrageous thing. Maybe that's why. Maybe I'm thinking of horse chestnuts. I don't really know the difference between them, to be perfectly honest. But it's the sort of thing where it's just like, okay, well, what other sort of flavours you got? Christmas flavours. Come on, you can think of some Christmas flavours. Wait, hold on, that was rhetorical. You're not meant to answer that. Well, I mean, you can answer it if you want. I mean, it doesn't have to just be Christmas. I suppose it could be year round. But like, what other holidays even had like exclusive foods? You know, Easter, I guess, got Easter chocolate. But, you know, that's just chocolate in a different shape, and it's more to do with the shape rather than particularly the actual flavour of the chocolate you have themselves. And it's not like Easter, like Cadbury Easter eggs and mini eggs are kind of just sold year round anyway, so it's not really much point in that. I just guess they get like a boost of sales probably around Easter time. New Year's, I don't know, champagne. People drink champagne with celebrations anyway, so that's kind of, it can be year round anyway. Valentine's Day, again, chocolate. I don't know why chocolate keeps coming up in every single holiday, but you can have chocolate year round. March, April, May, June, July, August, September. October. What other holidays are there? I can't think of any other holiday. Like, okay, I mean Halloween. Again, there's chocolate, but it's like any sort of candy, and the candy's kind of just like year round. So maybe this really isn't much of a problem. I've been saying it's a problem. Well, I've not been saying it's a problem. I've been suggesting a solution to a problem which doesn't even exist. Which you might say, hey, you probably shouldn't be doing that. And you know what? Fair enough. But luckily, this is an Animal Crossing video, so there's not really any stakes to be had in the end. But yeah, so, you know, I guess, you know, talk to myself. I've sort of changed my view on it. You know, sing these Christmas songs out of season. Who cares? Do whatever you want out of season, as long as it makes you happy and you're not hurting anyone. That's sort of the golden rules of how things go. Sorry, my stomach's making like grumbly noises, and that isn't like a hunger rumbles, and I don't know why it's making that very weird noise, but you know, so be it. Sometimes, you know, your body just do be like that. So yeah, I mean, like, food doesn't really matter too much to me, which is probably why I can't think of any examples. So I guess, you know, if I want to sing my Christmas songs outside of Christmas season, I'm going to sing them. I'm going to sing them with joy. I'm going to spread the Christmas cheer outside of Christmas. But it does feel like a bit incongruent at the same time. Because I think it's pretty common for people to find as well. It's like, because Christmas is like so concentrated. I can't believe I'm talking about Christmas, I suppose, like out of season. But still, it's so like, especially during any holiday season, the holiday seasons is so like densely packed with holiday sort of celebrations. Once people are like done celebrating it, they're like, you know what, don't really want to see it until next year. I guess it's more for the strong associations that come tied with it. For me personally, but make it feel like weird, I suppose, to sing about it in particular. Oh, there you are, Fauna. I also just realised my capture is called Death Still, despite the fact it's Pyre. Should I rename this in the middle of this episode? Pyre. There you go. Oh my god, my stomach. Please stop. Yeah, out season. I don't know. What do seasons matter anyway? You know, what else can be out season? Fashion, I suppose, can be out season. I mean, to a certain degree, I feel like out season, for fashion especially, makes a reasonable amount of sense. It's not like you. I mean, I'm gonna say, Able Sisters, right now you're a little bit out of fashion, aren't you? Because what was I saying? Oh yeah, because it's not like people are like, wow, I can't believe you're wearing winter style clothing in summer. That's so like fashion forward or a fashion behind. I suppose it's more like, why are you wearing a massive duffel down coat in the middle of summer? You know, the fashion around the seasons tend to be focused around a practicality of that season rather than necessarily. I mean, yeah, okay, certain colours do crop up. You know, in summer season, you'll probably see more yellows, oranges, and that sort of thing, compared to winter, which is probably more blues and whites. Maybe a little shake of green and purple in there. But it's not like you can't wear like blues in summer. You can't wear yellows in winter. It's more like it's more strongly, I suppose, tied to the functional elements of a fashion in the first place. At least that's my assumption. So, like, doing something off-season in that case is just sort of more like, well, I guess it seems kind of foolish rather than particularly, fashion trendy, right? I mean, if you saw someone walking around in, like, a winter coat in the middle of summer, you'd just be like, are they okay? At least that'd be my first thought. I'd be like, well, actually, no, my first thought would be like, okay, that's a bit strange, but, you know, as long as they're fine with it, I'm fine with it. It doesn't really bother me what you wear as long as it's not, like, completely outrageous. And like, well, not even if it's completely outrageous. I suppose if it can be eccentric and outrageous, I also like don't really mind as long as it just like, doesn't get in the way of my own livelihood. I'm kind of fine. Excuse me again. So like, I don't know if you want to wear like, what would be something like outrageous? If you want to wear like a mascot costume everywhere you go, fine by me, and doesn't really bother me. But if it's like, we're going to go swimming and you're going to wear your mascot costume, I'm going to be like, that seems, okay, well that doesn't really get into with my livelihood. I suppose it's more like, I don't know, where I swim meet or something on the swimming team. I'm like, maybe, okay, maybe you should just, you know, wear like a normal swimming costume. I don't think that's a particularly controversial opinion. That's like probably the coldest take you could have. Just like wear something reasonable. But like, yeah, I don't know. Certain things being out of season, I suppose, just end up mattering a lot more than other things. Unsurprisingly, because other things have stronger relevancy to... What is that? A dumbbell? Why don't we make that? Certain things have stronger ties, I suppose, to the actual seasonal aspect of things rather than, you know, other aspects. We need to get more sticks again. If I remember tomorrow, we'll certainly farm a load of sticks. So I couldn't remember how to make an axe. So yeah, out of season Christmas songs, out of season, I don't know, other things, styles, greetings, speech patterns. Do you think people's speech patterns change during the seasons? I can't imagine by a particularly significant amount, but maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. That's more of a question for a linguist, I suppose, rather than for me. My stomach. You can't hear me because I keep muting myself every time. Like I can feel like the noise coming along. It's being very disruptive. Oh, we should probably... I was going to say we should probably leave, but... in case a random visitor starts visiting us. But we're just going to sort of rapid fire put some stuff back away into our storage. Our storage. And hopefully that'll be okay. The presents always filled with presents. I don't know why that tune is so satisfying to me. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. There was another one, another song. I was like, how'd it go? Da 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 da. Okay, when I sing it like that, it doesn't sound very impressive. Okay, whatever. Who cares? So yeah, I don't know. I guess that'll be what I title this episode: Out of Season. You're out of season. You're out of time. You know, out touch Thursdays. Anyone? People still do that? I don't know. I don't really know what that Out Touch Thursdays is even about, I'm going to be perfectly honest. Is that enough for 5,000? It is just enough for 5,000. But yeah. Yeah. I don't really have much else to say about that sort of thing. It's just, I don't know. If I end up singing random Christmas songs, I suppose, for future episodes of like Animal Crossing or other recordings, then I suppose this will be your explanation why. It's the number one reason is, you know, I got Christmas songs stuck in my head thanks to a children's cartoon. The usual. Sometimes life just do be like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go make some dinner, I suppose, after this. I'm not even feeling particularly hungry, but probably by the time I start cooking, I probably will feel quite hungry afterwards. So, you know, no time like the present to actually start. What am I gonna make? I'm probably gonna make some fried rice, I think, you know. I've got a good amount of ingredients in. Fried rice is nice because it's easy. You can just chuck everything together. That's the secret fried rice. Just basically chuck everything together in a big pan. Or a big wok, I suppose, if you have a wok. But most people don't have a wok, and that's fine. Add some soy sauce, add some salt, you're good. Or, I guess rice. That's kind of the only key ingredient. But anyway, I'm going to round off this episode here. So, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Any likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join my Dear Darling Discord. Follow me on Twitter down below. Hope to see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time. Bye-bye for now.